Good evening. I would like to call to order the regular meeting, board meeting of Vallecitos Water District for February 4th, 2026. Before we begin, I would like to announce that members of the public may watch the meeting live online by visiting the district's website and clicking the Watch Live icon. However, they will not be able to participate in the meeting remotely. Director Brown, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Directors, please indicate your attendance. All right, we have a quorum with Director Elitharp absent, so we wish him well. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
May I have a motion to adopt the agenda for the regular meeting of February 4th, 2026?
So moved.
A motion by Director Pennick, seconded by Director Brown. Motion passes. Oh, now we vote. I'm gonna get this down, guys. Motion passes, okay. Do we have any public comments, public speakers?
No public speakers currently.
Okay, moving on to consent items. Do any of my colleagues want to pull any items from the consent calendar? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
Move to approve.
Moved by Director Hernandez. Second by Director Brown. Please vote. All right, motion passes. Moving right along to action items. We have a presentation from Development Services for calendar year 2025.
Yeah, so this is an annual presentation, and it's going to be, I think, pretty much done by our Director of Engineering, Elizabeth Lopez. So with that, Elizabeth, take up.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, President KERSCHBAUM and members of the board. This item before you this evening is the Development Services Calendar Year 2025 update. We'll start by looking at this exhibit showing development projects being processed in the district with a focus on looking at proposed capital facility fees, and then we'll look at some metrics and photos of the projects we actually completed in 2025. But before I begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the Development Services and Inspections teams. Over the past year, they've handled a significant amount of workload with professionalism, response, and dedication. So this often required flexibility, problem solving, dealing with me and all of my questions. For anybody that knows me, I ask a lot, and a lot of behind the scenes effort, and they've delivered every step of the way. So the accomplishments that we're highlighting this evening is really their hard work. And I also appreciate that several team members from both Inspections and Development Services are here this evening. So I want to say thank you for coming. Okay, so let's dive into it. I think some of you have seen this exhibit before. The map shows the larger projects coming through the Development Services team and inspection teams. The larger projects are shown on the map. Projects in blue are in the planning phase, pink are in plan check, and green are in construction. So zooming in.
Oh, so much better.
I know.
I was like putting my fingers on the screen.
I'm trying to zoom so we can actually read it. It's hard. It's on the other monitor for me. So focusing on projects in the planning phase. At the end of December of 2025, we had 31. This table shows the project name, size, type, how many dwelling units if it's family member, or dwelling units if it's residential, and then how many water and sewer EDUs are estimated for charging capital facility fees. As a reminder, one EDU is equivalent to one single family home connection. So at the end of December, we had about almost 2,300 water EDUs in the planning phase for a total of $23.4 million. And for sewer, almost 3,600 with a value of $70 $3.1 million. Now, as a reminder, projects in planning don't always move forward to plan check. Sometimes they do move forward to plan check, but they don't move forward to construction. So we will not collect all of the fees estimated and shown here on this table. But the projects that do move forward to completion, we would probably start collecting these fees, capital facility fees, on the time frame of 5 years or more, sometimes much longer. So taking a look at projects in plan check, we had 35 projects in plan check at the end of December. Something to note is that projects with connections only, which is this bottom line here at the table, we had 16. Those are not shown on the map. The map would just show the larger development projects. 16 single-family home projects is quite a lot for us. We probably average typically at one time about 5. So there's a lot of customers building single-family homes. So proposed capital facility fees for project and plan check, it's 545 water EDUs, which is a value of $5.6 million, and almost 1,200 sewer EDUs for a value of $24.2 million. Now you'll notice there's a lot higher volume of sewer EDUs than water EDUs for 2 reasons. Some projects we serve sewer only, projects served by another water district. For example, the Quest Haven subdivision project will be sewer only for us. Secondly, as there's more dense development, multifamily housing, there's more indoor water use, more water flowing down the sewer than a single family home, so more sewer EDU to charge, cap fees to charge. The time frame I would estimate that we'll be collecting these fees anywhere from about 2 to 4 year time frame. So for projects in construction, we had about, at the end of December, 270 water EDUs for a value of $2.7 million and 425 sewer EDUs for a value of $8.8 million. These fees should be paid in 2 years or less. So we'll be seeing these fees come in the near future. Is there any questions on this exhibit before we move on to the rest of the presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
You ask a lot of questions, so I'd like to ask a couple as well. So is it 10,000 for water? I mean, round numbers, 10,000 for water, 20,000 for sewer?
Roughly, yes,
per
for one
EDU.
EDU. Yep,
Yeah. So on the bottom, just on the, you've got construction, plan check, and
planning.
So I'm looking at the planning is not Levitt South. Are those the buildings, the 12-story buildings going up? Is that?
That's not the Levitt North and South. Those aren't in construction yet, but the 12-story building project was completed last year and accepted
So
by
that's
the
considered,
board.
that's not even on, that's
It's not even on
oh,
here,
okay.
but I am going to show you photos.
Okay, and then Carmel's not part of that as well? These are all just truly in planning?
Correct.
There's a lot, is that the one where it's just like 3 stories, it's in, there's something in construction, is that not?
Yes, you can see it from Highway 78,
Yep.
and it's wood framing right now,
Yes,
several
yes.
stories high.
Which one is that?
That's an affordable housing project.
It's not on here either, that's considered in construction, or?
That, for last year, it was probably, go ahead, you look like you have something to say.
Is that Zopola?
Yes.
That's the name of it, Zopola.
Ropolo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's still that much in planning, plan check?
Yes. Do you see
I
it?
mean, this is a crazy busy next 3 years. Am I, yes?
Affordable
like-
housing, it was in construction in December.
So that's the one on top of
Yes.
construction, okay. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people don't like growth, and I do.
It's
Kind
exciting.
of, managed in a reasonable way, but, yeah, it seems like you're super busy.
They are super busy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Director Hernandez, did you have a question too?
No, no,
Okay,
I saw this-
I just saw your light on. I have a question, if you could just kind of elaborate a little bit more on the difference between the sewer and the water EDU calculation. So I understand that some units were not serving their water, so that totally makes sense. But I guess I don't understand why, if a unit in a multifamily development is using more water, and so more is going to the sewer, why that wouldn't also increase the water EDU?
So one water EDU is 500 gallons per day, and one sewer EDU is 250 gallons per day. So if you look at a single-family home connection, there's a lot of outdoor water use. But when you look at a large residential meter for something like one of the high-rise buildings where you have a 3 or 4 inch meter, it is all indoor water use. So we have to charge more sewer EDUs because all of that water is coming back to our sewer system.
And that's just a misstatement. It's, multifamily has a higher percentage of water going back to sewer than single family because there's no outdoor or very little outdoor use. So it's not more sewer, it's just a higher percentage of the total water that goes in multifamily. It's almost 100%. It's 90%, 80% depending on the density is returned back to sewer because there is no outdoor use. There's no backyard, landscaping, hillside that and slopes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so this slide is showing a summary of just metrics for the Development Services and Inspections group. This column here summarizes calendar year 2025, and for comparative purposes, we put calendar year 2024 next to it. So tenant improvement applications and county clearance forms, we processed 77. Tenant improvements, for example, if a new restaurant's coming into an existing commercial space and renovating it, they submit an application to us to review. County clearance forms, that's the final end of the county process where we provide the county a letter stating that we are committing water or sewer service to that property. So staff processed 77 of those applications. Fire service detector checks to construction. A fire service detector check is the large backflow for the fire sprinkler system. As we're reviewing tenant improvement applications, we're verifying these existing fire service backflows are compliant. If they're not compliant, we're asking property owners to upgrade them. So through the tenant improvement process, we moved 3 fire service detector checks to construction, and we completed construction of 4 of them in 2025. These 3 rows just kind of summarize at the end of December that we had 19 projects in construction, 35 in plan check, 31 in planning. Construction agreements approved by the board in 2025, there were 5. Construction agreements were approved for projects installing public mainline water and sewer. You approved 5 of those. Final acceptance, those are final acceptance of the construction agreement projects. The board approved 10. When you approve final acceptance, we are accepting those assets as ours. Our operations team gets to maintain them in perpetuity. The value of the assets accepted by the board in 2025 was about $12.4 million. That included 1 hydropneumatic pump station, about 1.5 miles of new water pipeline, almost 1 mile of new sewer pipeline. And the capital facility fees collected in 2025 was about $4 million in water and almost $16 million in sewer. That funding goes to help fund our capital improvement projects. So something I want to point out, you'll probably notice that the fees, capital facility fees we collected in 2025 is a lot more than 2024. So that can happen for a couple reasons. Most developers pay their fees at the end of construction, right prior to meter unlock and occupancy. We had a lot of projects finish construction in 2025 that were in construction in 2024. So they just happened to pay their fees in 2025. Also, in 2024, we had 2 subdivisions that had about $2 million in water and $2 million in sewer credits, fee credits. So what that means, if a property has an existing water meter or sewer service connection and it redevelops, the EDUs originally, the cap fees originally paid with the property remain with the property. So if you redevelop to a high-rise building, that developer, we're going to charge them new fees for the larger water meters or the increased sewer flow to our system. And they get a credit for what fees were paid many years ago. So there was a lot of redevelopment in 2024, and the developers didn't owe us cap fees because they had credits. So, any questions on this slide before I move on?
Quick teaching moment, yes.
Yeah,
Tenant improvements, is there fees for a tenant improvement?
there are.
Depending, I mean, you go from a restaurant to a restaurant, there's still fees for,
Well, there's an application fee. It's just a flat fee of $190.
okay?
And then if for any reason they need to upsize their water meter or they're increasing their sewer, their estimated sewer generation, then we would charge water or sewer cap fees.
And if
Most
they-
of the time, that doesn't happen.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. So if they don't,
Occasionally.
then it's just the 190 tenant improvement fee?
Yes.
Just because they're changing the name from one restaurant to another or something?
Well, we are reviewing to make sure they have an appropriately sized meter, that they have paid appropriate sewer cap fees, and that their fire service backflow is compliant. So we are checking
You're
things.
saying, okay, so that fee covers a simple inspection to go out and,
Our staff time doing the research, looking at the property and verifying all
is there
of
an
that.
inspection? I mean, there's an actual physical inspection of it, if there's a TI?
No, no.
This,
Mainly
this,
question and answers over the phone and check online or whatever?
Yeah, research.
most of the examples, and this really came up from past history where you had a office building perhaps, and later on it became a brewery.
Right.
And we didn't have a tenant improvement program in place. Obviously, a brewery uses a lot more water, generates a lot more sewer than an office building. And then before you know it, that system is overwhelmed, the public system becomes overwhelmed. So this tenant improvement process and the staff time in it is basically to ensure the existing systems and the existing capacity is appropriate for what that improvement's gonna
Gotcha.
be.
No, I see the wisdom in it, yeah, for sure. I just didn't know, I mean, if you're going from like to like office to office, you know, I didn't, but I understand, okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you're welcome. Okay, so just to show you some of the projects, for example, Kaiser Medical Office, this is their fire service that was upgraded to a compliant device. Cherokee Pacific was a residential multifamily housing project that was accepted by the board in 2025, as was High Point Phase 1. There was water line replacement. The developer replaced ductile iron pipe with PVC. They also constructed the hydropneumatic pump station. CLO project was another multifamily project with a large 3-inch meter. Probably a lot of the development is in North City. Here for 222 North City is the large high-rise building. One of our inspectors took this picture. We call him our resident photographer
Yeah,
because
that's
he always
great.
takes great photos for us. And what was really unique about this project is that the building is right up to the right-of-way line, so there was no room to put our meters in the right-of-way because it would be blocking the sidewalk. We have large 3-inch and 4-inch meters. So this is the first for us. Our meters are actually in a utility room in the building that we have an easement for. And that's the photo here. So that was a first for us. So it was kind of fun to plan check that and then see it come to construction. North City West, this is kind of a before photo and an after photo. This is on New Discovery Street near Twin Oaks Valley Road. A large multifamily housing project that was accepted by the board of about 450 dwelling units. And so in development, we get to see a lot of construction and it's a lot of fun. So when I asked the team, what do you want to share with the board that might be fun to share? Blasting video.
Nice.
This is North City West on Discovery Street.
You heard that?
I was just,
Okay, I thought you heard it real
I
time.
remember here.
Who's the videographer on that one?
I would guess our resident inspector photographer. Is he here? Did you take video?
Nice.
Great choice. That was cool to see.
Yeah,
Did you have a hard hat on?
of course he did.
Yeah, always check for safety. Is that the end of your presentation?
That concludes the presentation. This was for information only, but I'm happy to answer any additional questions.
Thank you. It was an excellent presentation, and thank you to your staff for doing all the work to compile all that information and selecting that awesome video. So, yeah, was there any more questions? So, thank you so much, Elizabeth.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, moving right down the line here. So, our next action item is approval of Double Peak Pump Station budget request, and we will have a presentation from our Director of Operations.
So while he just gets ready, we'll go ahead and just kind of, this was provided to the,
It's intro music.
yeah, I got it, walk-up music. This was provided to the Engineering Equipment Committee also, and now for board presentation, Eric, go ahead.
That cracked me up. All right, good evening, directors. During this portion of my time, I will be reviewing the Double Peak Pump Station Refurbishment CIP project. All right. During this presentation, we'll briefly cover what goes into a pump refurbishment, the project's background and progress, some of the challenges we face that have led us to the need for a budget increase, and then we'll see how completing this project aligns with the district's strategic plan. And finally, I'll end with asking for the Board of Directors to approve a budget increase in order to finish the project. Installed in 2007, Double Peak Pump Station serves the San Alejo neighborhood and is essential for both domestic water supply to the Double Peak tank and local fire protection services. The refurbishment was initiated in fiscal year 24-25 as part of the district's capital improvement program with a budget of $70,000. The project was originally designed to only restore the station's 3 100 horsepower pumps. For these types of projects, we choose to refurbish pumps rather than pursuing costly full-scale replacements, as the refurbishment cost is typically 30% of purchasing new units. This strategy provides us with reliable equipment at a cost-effective solution for our customers. As mentioned, the project originally called for the 3 pumps to be refurbished. This involves disassembling the pumps to inspect and replace any wear components, such as impellers, seals, and bearings, that may have reached their useful life. Also, to ensure long-term durability and compliance with health standards, internal metal surfaces are treated with NSF-approved protective coatings that mitigate corrosion, reduce friction, and improve hydraulic efficiency and lifespan of the pumps. While the original scope was limited to the pumps, initial disassembly revealed that the associated electric motors, which had been in service since 2007, had also reached a level of wear that made refurbishment operationally prudent. At this point, staff elected to expand the scope to include the 3 motors. This decision was made to avoid the risk of electrical failure in the future, and also in the inefficiency of redundant mobilization and labor costs associated with motor refurbishments later on. And although staffing constraints delayed substantial progress in fiscal year 24-25, the project ramped up early this fiscal year and is now in active execution. As of now, 2 of the 3 pumps have been refurbished and put back into service. The first unit, both the pump and the motor, have been completed in alignment with the revised budget and with the revised budget expectations of approximately $23,000. However, the second unit required significant unanticipated labor and materials and ended up totaling $35,000. The cost for the second unit increased due to post-installation operational issues, and which required the unit to be returned to the vendor for additional work. While the vendor performed the necessary corrective work at no cost to the district incurred additional costs, including internal labor and overhead costs, additional crane service costs, and increased wear material usage, such as mechanical seals, that were associated with repeated removal and reinstallation of the equipment. The combination of the expanded scope, adding the motors, and the technical complications encountered with the second unit has resulted in a project overage of roughly $18,600 so far. To complete the third and final unit, increasing the project's budget by an additional $47,000 is necessary. This will bring the project's total budget to $136,100. And while this represents a significant increase over the project's initial budget of $70,000, refurbishment of both pumps and motors provides a complete mechanical renewal of the pump systems. And to illustrate the project's budget, like I said previously, the project was originally designed with a $70,000 budget, and current expenses to date, including pump systems 1 and 2, labor and overhead, and material usage, is totaling $88,600. We are estimating $47,500 to complete the final unit, and that total will bring us to $136,100 with a estimated project overage of $66,100. The refurbishment project of the final pump and motor aligns with the district's strategic plan, specifically focus area number 1, infrastructure integrity. Refurbishing the pumps and motors together not only creates efficiency related to staff labor by not performing the same work twice, It will restore full functionality to a critical pump station and is expected to increase the station's operational capability by 10 years or more. All right. And now, staff recommends that the Board of Directors approve a budget increase of $66,100 for fiscal year 25-26 to complete the Double Peak Pump Station Pump Refurbishment Project. And this increase will ensure the project is completed and full functionality is restored to the pump station.
All right, thank you for that great presentation, Eric. Is there any questions from anyone?
I was just wondering,
Your,
sorry.
speaker.
Are they operating now at a lesser volume than they would if, once it gets all fixed?
Well, the third pump is currently pulled out right now.
Okay.
We pulled out and then we realized how far over budget we were and we decided to hold off until we could get to this point. So currently the station is operating off 2 pumps.
Okay.
It has been that way as we've been going back and forth trying to get this project finalized.
And the 2 pumps can continue to provide what we need?
During the winter months.
Okay.
That's why we prioritize
Okay.
these kind of refurbishment projects.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because during the summer months, that pump station runs quite a bit to keep the tank levels steady. And so that's why we have it done.
Thank you.
Great question, thank you. Was this also presented at the engineering committee?
Correct.
Okay. I was really sad to step down from the engineering committee, so, but thank you for making your presentations so clear that I only need to see them once to recommend approval. So can I have
Just a quick question.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it's just 66,000, spending no problem. Kidding. No, just a couple clarifying questions. Who did the initial evaluation as far as, did we do that, or did we have an outside contractor come in and say, you just need the pumps? Kidding, you need the pumps and motors now. Who did the original evaluation, like, we just need the pumps only? Was that us?
The original capital project?
Yeah.
That
just
was
kind of-
created by our old mechanical electrical supervisor who has since retired for just the 3 pumps, probably right when I started in O&M.
So we do that in-house, figure out what's going on, and then we're not doing it now, we're using outside contractors.
Negative. That's all of the capital improvement projects in O&M are designed and, I guess, pushed forward by O&M staff.
Oh, so we're doing this all in-house? Oh, okay. I didn't realize we had a profit and overhead expense when we do it all in-house.
It's not a profit expense, but we do have an overhead expense because we still have, obviously, labor and then benefits and everything else that goes off with staff.
So we factor that in on a
Yes.
separate line item? though?
Correct.
Okay, so we have parts, material, and the labor, and then overhead on a separate line item for, oh, okay. Okay, so I just didn't know if we used outside contractors to evaluate, saying, hey, we just need, the pumps done, and then when we're into it, it's like, yeah, actually, motors too.
No, typically we, speaking with staff, and obviously this is before my time here, but they try to do every pump and motor around 10 years to keep efficiency, at a high level for the pumps and motors. And like I said earlier, to just have more efficient standards and not doing the double work of pulling that pump and motor twice, having the crane service come out to pull that pump and motor twice.
Right.
We just do it all together now.
No, makes sense, okay. No, thank you.
That actually made me think of another question.
Yeah.
So the 10 years, is that what we have in our capital improvement plan, like over the course of 30 years, that those get replaced every 10 years? Or is it based on like a condition assessment?
It's based on condition assessment. Our
Okay.
staff routinely do inspections on all of our pump stations, including vibration analysis, heat analysis. They're checking the motors for any shorts that could possibly happen, checking for increased amperage. And as they progress over time, that's 10 years has kind of been the standard where we're saying, okay, now's about the time we need to do this.
I see, okay, thank you. Anything else?
And with that, I can move to approve Double Peak Pump Station budget request of 66-1.
Okay, and I will second the motion. Please vote. The motion passes.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, and now we have a report from our general manager.
Yeah, just a quick one tonight. First and foremost, Director L. Tharp reached out. He is recovering and feels good and hopes to be back in the seat here for the next meeting, so that's good news. Our scholarships are now hitting the street, so get the word out. They open on 2/2 and they close on 3/27. And just as a reminder, that the $2,000 scholarship, there's up to 6 scholarship opportunities. So operations is scheduling shutdown for tomorrow. 165 customers will be affected and have been contacted. And that shutdown is right off Pacific Street. It's basically to remove a temporary repair and put in a permanent repair. So the state basically accepted our certification for our water ops lab, and that's a huge accomplishment in operations, and kudos to our water ops guys for getting that certification. It's not easy to do. And also, the district won a CWEA Engineering Achievement Award. Engineering staff left, so I can't thank them here. But it was the Achievement of the Project of the Year Achievement Award for Metal Arc Expansion Project. And last but not least, I just found out, our very own Jim Gilpin, it's his birthday today.
Oh my gosh.
See, I thought I had a showstopper with the award, but Jim trumped that for us. So.
Okay.
That concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Should we do a happy birthday ballot, or is that?
My singing voice is absolutely horrible, and I do not want that to be recorded in public.
Okay, a good call on that. All right. And our birthday boy, our legal counsel, do you have anything to report?
Well, at my new age, I think I've forgotten what the report was, but no. Just a small report. Jim Campbell reached out to us this afternoon regarding potential contacts from union representatives to the board. We're working on that. We'll get you a response by email tomorrow to answer questions and that. And if you have any questions following that, feel free to call me and we can talk through it.
Appreciate that, thank you. Next is County Water Authority, which we had a meeting on January 22nd. The hot topic of the day was the approval of the long-range financial plan, which we did approve, and there were kind of 3 main components of the long-range financial plan. The agency was presenting their new business model and also presenting the possibility of water transfers and water deals. It also discusses the debt service ratios. The long-range financial plan is like sort of a guiding document, but there's nothing in that plan that ties the board to anything related to setting rates or even investments. It's more just like a guidance document for what we do financially going forward, and it's used to get loans out on the market, so it was important that we got it approved. There was a little bit of controversy because one very large agency came in last minute and wanted a whole bunch of changes to the plan, and those proposed changes did not get approved, and we just approved the long-range financial plan as presented. We talked a little bit about the Colorado River negotiations, which were extended to February 14th, which is coming up. Again, there doesn't seem to be much progress with the negotiations. So if the issue does get elevated, like to the Bureau of Reclamation, the good news is that we as a region are in pretty good shape as far as like our water security is concerned, because we have the QSA, the Quantification Settlement Agreement with, Imperial Irrigation District. So that kind of protects us in the future because we have that agreement. So we'll see how things go. There was a hearing in DC last week with the Energy Committee, and so there was governors from all the states. I guess Governor Newsom didn't go, so there was another representative from the state legislature that attended, and I don't know exactly how that went, but there should be news articles about it. I just haven't caught up on it yet. And that is about it. Any questions on County Water Authority? No? Okay.
How often do you meet?
once a month. Yeah, and so there's, let's see, how many committees? 5 committee meetings in the mornings, and then the larger board meeting is in the afternoon, usually around 2 o'clock. And the committees are sort of where all the discussion happens. And then those things that were on the agenda in the committees go to the larger board meeting, and a lot of it just goes through as consent. So that's kind of how it works. But very interesting, very emotionally charged. So, yeah. Good times. Anyway, ENCINA Wastewater Authority.
Yes, we had our meeting on the 28th. We had our committee assignments identified, and then we had the 2025 Tactical Plan Achievement Report, and then we had the primary sedimentation basin Phase 2 contract award, and that was it.
All right, easy, thank you. Standing committees. Who met standing committees?
We had the first P3 meeting of the year and had a great presentation on AB 2561, which is a state mandate now that requires that we track vacancies, recruitment, and retention. And the report was really enlightening, and I think we're going to get the full report in March. But it was, it was really good to have some comparison. Denise was telling us that a year ago when this bill first was passed, they had data but nothing to compare it with. And this year, we can compare our, employee retentions and all of that from year to year. And so it was very encouraging, and I think we're on the right path, and they're working with ideas to keep maintaining our wonderful staff. So it was very enlightening. Thank you.
Great, and this is the item that you presented on, Denise, right, like over the summer?
Well, yeah, probably last March.
Oh, okay,
We have to have it approved before we approve budget, so it has to come out before budget's approved.
okay.
So-
Wow, that was that long ago? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So
Yeah,
we,
and I'll be
Time
back here in
flies.
March
So we
to
have to
take
have them
minutes
get
of
old.
everyone.
perfect.
Time flies.
Okay, thank you. Any other standing committees?
Well, the other thing
Well, we
that-
had our engineering committee, but it was pretty much what we saw tonight.
Yeah, it's an easy report then.
One of the other things that came up in our meeting was all the amazing things that we are doing through outreach, and there's a lot of activities going on with the community, the scholarship that was mentioned earlier, students coming for tours, and a lot of very exciting outreach with our community gardens, and just making a good impression on the public and trying to be as involved as possible in the things that are important to them.
Well, you get to be involved in the scholarship selection this year, which is a really cool
Yes,
experience. Director
I'm very
Pennant can
excited about that.
tell you. We had a good time with that last year, so, and it's just a great way to connect with the community and the younger folks. So I'll look forward to seeing all the applicants come in. I know I won't see them
Hopefully.
till the end after they're selected, but yeah, that's exciting to see the young people getting interested and engaged in our industry. So very cool. Director's reports on meetings, conferences, or seminars attended. So I went to a lunch last week with the water agencies group. What's the name of that group, James? Is it?
Council Water Utilities?
Yes, Council of Water Utilities. So I hadn't been to one of those before, and it was a lot of people, a lot of board members from County Water Authority. Mina Westford made a presentation on the Colorado River negotiations, which was interesting to hear in that setting, because I hear those presentations a lot in the board meetings, which, requires everything to be presented in a very politically correct manner. So it was interesting to kind of hear her perspective as a professional and, you know, her experience. So, yeah, that was what I did last week. And that was it. So any other business? Any other from directors? So I actually had a question before we adjourn. So the presentations that we have during our board meetings, is there a way for the public to easily access those without going through the entire recording of the meeting?
Yeah, so our board meetings are either it's going to be or it already is, they're time stamped. And Jonathan, I don't know if that's already being done. If they're time stamped on the minutes, so you could go to the agenda, you could click on it and it'll go to that timestamp. I know that if it isn't being done, I've been working with Matthias to get that done. So if somebody wanted to go to item 2.1, then you go to item 2.1, it'll go to that timestamp and start playing the video right at that point.
What about, would it be too difficult to actually have like the presentation, the PowerPoint as a link on there?
Yeah, it's on the minutes and
okay.
already, and I don't know if that's timestamped yet, but if it is, we could probably work on something like that in the future.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, if there's no other business, then this meeting is adjourned at 5:41.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Yes.
birthday.